Hey everyone, and welcome back to the fourth installment of Gears of Opinion. Today I'm going to continue the trend that I started in the previous episode, where I count down my top 10 favorite episodes of a cartoon that I find is horribly underrated. People look at it and fail to see beyond the surface kidness of it all, look beyond and see the real passion and effort that you can tell went into it, if you just take the time to watch it properly. Today's cartoon isn't necessarily underrated, but it is unknown. Ever since it left the airwaves several years ago, it seems people have just completely forgotten about it. And personally, I think that's just a shame because I really love this cartoon, and I decided, you know what? I want to show you why I like this cartoon so much. So I'm going to make my first actual full-length review. And today, we're reviewing my all-time favorite Disney cartoon. Today, we're reviewing Fillmore.
Fillmore, I'm on it.
Oh yeah, I freaking loved Fillmore growing up. It was one of the few shows I actually made a conscious effort to watch. With a jazzed up soundtrack, colorful characters, and surprisingly clever storylines, Fillmore gave me child-friendly crime dramas before I ever grew to love more adult crime. Fillmore was fun, action-packed, engaging, and remains to date one of my all-time favorite cartoons. Let's take a look and see what we've got. For those of you unfamiliar, Fillmore is a spoof of old-timey, hard-boiled detective shows like The Wire, among others, with an obsessed politician-type principal who constantly threatens to shut down the safety patrol, and a Maverick-style detective who is more focused on getting the job done and following protocol.
Listen, there's a lot of love in this room, so I'm going with the momentum. We need your help. Every school has a point of pride. For Dumont Junior High, they have their electric tomato mascot. For Jacoby Middle School, their freestyle rap team. We have a lot of things to be proud of. One of them is Dwapi.
Dwapi?
I read about it in the Examiner. Dwapi is the oldest virtual pet in the country.
Right, it's one of those Wama Huzaguchi things. That TV show More is planning on doing a segment about it this Friday. But we have a problem. It's missing.
Missing?
Taken. And if this thing isn't virtually fed or electronically cleaned up after... Listen, if you don't find Dwapi in 24 hours, it's going to Wama Huzaguchi heaven. We can't let that happen.
We won't.
Good. This is a national TV show we're talking here.
And the life of a kid's beloved virtual friend.
Mm-hmm, that too.
Fillmore is basically the show's straight man, although he does pull off a mean Steve Urkel impression.
Aren't you forgetting something, Fillmore? My father's diplomatic credentials make me untouchable. It doesn't matter how much you investigate me or how much evidence you gather. I'm completely immune.
Not from me, you're not. Oh, snap. Did I do that? My bad.
Hey, Cindy. Did I do that?
One especially funny part of the show is how they treat such silly offenses as serious business.
The surveillance club managed to get the hot dog water out of their tape of the wreck. There's not much, but hey, it's all we've got.
Is it over yet?
We can't just have people running around crashing model trains willy-nilly. Next thing you know, the terrorists have won. All this just adds to the fun for adults watching the show, but even when taking on its own merits, Fillmore is a surprisingly capable show for kids. For example, take this scene, where Fillmore and Ingrid attempts to get help from a convicted graffiti artist.
Randall Julian, meet Ingrid Third.
Charmed. Uninspired, unemotional, uninteresting, unimportant.
We didn't come here for an art critique, Julian.
Of course not. You want me to help you catch him. Why should I?
Hannibal Lecter much? Okay, that aside, the real point I was trying to make was this.
Your stainless writes from right to left.
What?
The English language, as I'm sure you're aware, is written from left to right. Stainless does his tags backwards, right to left. You can tell by the overlay of his letters.
Why does he write from right to left?
No, I think that would be too easy. When you figure it out for yourselves, come back and see me. Maybe I'll tell you more.
Check this out. A marker leaves a wet residue. Right-handed people don't have to worry about smearing it. But a left-handed person has a tendency to drag their hand over the area they just wrote. Unless
the person writes backwards, right to left.
Stainless is left-handed.
That's what Julian was telling us.
This basically sums up the general standard of Fillmore. It's a show of twists and turns, taking more after Agatha Christie than Law & Order, often with the least likely suspect turning out to be the perpetrator. For example, take this other episode, where the Safe Patrol is asked to recover a kidnapped virtual pet named Dwapi.
When the story took a very real, very dramatic turn. That's when Dwapi was virtual pet-napped.
This was supposed to be over.
But Principal Folsom,
I don't want to hear any more about disappearing crowbars and virtual pet nappers that have virtual pets virtually pet-napped from them. You're supposed to be the best. Now go be the best and find Bloppy.
Virtual pet napping is serious fucking business, people. Please, show your support by donating to people opposed to virtual pet napping and endangerment. Pope, together we can save virtual lives. Anyway, after doing some digging, they discovered that Everett's new friend Lorraine stole Dwapi. However, when they interrogate her about it, things take a surprising turn.
Everett, please, you've got to understand.
Where's Dwapi?
I don't know.
What happened to Dwapi?
I don't know. I kept Dwapi in my closet. I've been taking care of him. I was going to give him back. I was. But when I went to feed it yesterday, it was gone. And this was left in its place.
In the end, the culprit was actually Lorraine's old friend Bianca, who stole Dwapi out of spite for losing Lorraine to Everett.
You can make this right, Bianca. Give us Dwapi before it's too late.
I knew Lorraine liked Everett. You tell your best friends who you like. I knew she took Dwapi. I just knew it. I had to split them up. Permanently. Badly. So they would never be friends again. So Lorraine would need a friend. So I took Dwapi. And when I was in Lorraine's closet, I saw her happy cat head crowbar. It was so perfect. I could plant it at Everett's and then you would find her out. Dwapi would be gone forever. And it would be Lorraine's fault. Everett would hate Lorraine. And Lorraine would go back to being my friend. She was my friend, not Everett's. We were supposed to be best friends forever.
I know. We can make friends and we can break friends. Sometimes those things are in our control, and sometimes they aren't.
This also highlights another part of the show. It has a lot of very positive messages to send.
We had one bully left, and you brought him right to us.
Please, this is a mistake. I'm a computer geek, not a bully.
You might not throw people up against lockers or take their lunch money, but you've got power, and you use it to intimidate and humiliate people.
And isn't that exactly what you're all doing right now?
We're only doing what's right.
Wrong. You're making yourselves feel bigger by making them feel smaller. So what are we supposed to do? Just sit back and take it? Try talking to a teacher, or just watching out for each other. I don't know. But what I do know is that this isn't going to solve anything, man.
It's worked so far.
But pretty soon, the bullies are gonna band together and fight back against you. When's it gonna end?
You think you can stop it, but you can't. Only all of us can. If everybody bands together and takes a stand, they'll listen. They'll listen because they have no choice. Come on, Wilbur. It's cool to want to fight back. But not like this, man. You're better than this. All of you are.
So, all the bully paybackers are facing serious detention time. But I'm still not sure what we accomplished. There's always gonna be bullies, and there's always gonna be victims.
You're right, Ingrid. Unless everybody pitches in to stop it, that's just how it's gonna be. I guess as long as we're doing our part. That's all we can do.
Later, Fillmore.
Peace out, Ingrid.
Hand over the test, Fillmore.
George, you never told me your reason for being here.
All right. I think you deserve that much. I've earned an A on that final. Plain and simple. I've spent this entire semester working my tail off for Mrs. Cornwall. I did all my homework, read every chapter over and over, and you know what my average is right now? After all that work? A C. A lousy C.
Maybe, but it's an honest C. And years from now, when we're all just dusty black and white photos in some yearbook, that honest C is gonna be worth more than that bogus A. Because it will mean that you earned something more important. Honor, man.
That just hits right there. Wow, that was powerful. Fillmore takes the time to teach kids a lot of very valuable life lessons, and the way it does it is just so powerful. Fillmore really is a show that kids can relate to. It does it by dealing with things that kids at that age care about. Personally, I relate a lot to Ingrid III. Much like Ingrid, I was always sort of the weird kid in class, the outsider, but Ingrid, she didn't take anything from anyone. She didn't let anyone push her around.
You guys can't get me a scooter.
Oh yeah, we can.
Fillmore, everybody's gonna think I'm just jumping on the scoot bandwagon.
Ingrid, you have an Abe Lincoln lunchbox. Since when do you care what everybody thinks?
Hey, Abe Lincoln is cool. Oh, good point.
Ingrid truly was cold, clever, and badass. Ingrid is the person I wish I was in middle school, and sometimes I still do wish I was her. So, to conclude, Fillmore is family-friendly entertainment at its absolute finest. It's a show that plays to different age group, but is still actually willing to approach kids on their level. Fillmore is highly recommended. As an incentive, I'll include a link to the first episode in the description. I'm Geardirector. This was Gears of Opinion episode 4. Fillmore, play us out.
You did a good job on the custard case.
It wasn't a case. Nothing happened.
Sometimes being a good detective means uncovering stuff you wish you hadn't. I'm glad you stayed on it, because you helped me uncover some stuff I didn't want to. Thanks, Ingrid. Go ahead and book Noah. I'll catch up.
What is it?
I just gotta settle something. Hey, Clementina.
Fillmore?
You lose this?
Yeah, I was packing up to go. It must have got away from me.
Yeah, must have. But you can stop packing, because we caught the real book culprits. Sorry, but we all know you didn't pull the biggest heist in X history.
You do now.
I jumped to conclusions and I let myself get played like a sucker. But you didn't help. At least, not until Nora ran by your locker.
That it?
No. You know what, man? I don't think anyone's gonna remember much about this heist in 10 years. I don't think they're gonna remember you. And I don't think they're gonna remember me. You said we are what we are. I don't believe that. Because I used to be something else and someone helped turn it around for me. A lot of different roads lead to 10 years from now. And I think you may have just started another route. You need help along the way? You see me first, man. You know, the safety patrol has a softball team and we might be needing new shirts. It looked like you do good work.
Hey, those are quality shirts. I can get you in the saddle for $10 per tee.
$10? Man, I thought you were pulling away from a life of crime.
$9.50. Baby steps, Officer Fillmore. Baby steps.